Welcome back. You're still watching the Nile Cruise on Nile TV International, and moving to this special segment where from the 56th Cairo International Book Fair, where the heritage and the culture come alive. And today we will delve into the remarkable contributions of Al-Azhar Pavilion, which is a cornerstone of this event for the past 9 years. And we are very delighted to be joined with Dr. Asmaa Zaini, an academic researcher at Al-Azhar. Thank you so much for being with us on Nile TV International, Dr. Asmaa.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell us more about the 4 sahah on display that stands out for the match?
Actually, Al-Azhar is playing a significant role on preserving the whole Islamic heritage, and especially the sahah. These are the 4 main books of the hadith, which is the second pillar of the whole Islamic sharia and knowledge. These sahah are the most authentic books in the field of hadith, from which we take most of our deeds of Islam. And Al-Azhar, as the body responsible for preserving the Islamic heritage, is taking all possible efforts to make sure that these books are very well studied, very well known, very well spread among the whole Muslim world. Why? Because, as I told you, these are the main source of Sunnah and Hadith and Sunnah, which is the second source after the Quran, from which we take our what to do, what not to do in our Islam.
Can you tell us how do the preservation efforts of Al-Azhar ensure that these are remain intact for the generations coming up?
And a very clear role that Al-Azhar played in this regard, preserving these sahah and all the Islamic heritage, that Al-Azhar, headed by Professor Dr. Ahmed Al-Tayyib, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, revived what is known as Hayat Kibar al-Ulama, and a special like section of Al-Azhar, which is Ihya al-Turas body, reviving the heritage. This body is entitled, by studying these books carefully, what we know in Islamic knowledge as tahqiq. Tahqiq is that a very great scholar sits on this book to study carefully and make sure that every and each word inside the book is truly authentic. And we already actually the sahah we studied the
ensure that this is intact with the coming generations.
Yeah.
To be updated
after,
and to be easy to be read with all generations.
After the part of authentication or ihya,
yes,
we play another role by simplifying these books in our Azhari curriculum for all Al-Azhar students, and also for different books written by senior scholars nowadays, explaining these are the main books of our Islamic heritage, by the Grand Imam, by the Deputy of Al-Azhar, the main of Al-Azhar professors in all fields, fiqh, whatsoever, jurisprudence, fiqh, hadith, tafsir, Quran explanation, and all regards. Taking from the main source of these books.
Okay, as we know that the pavilion has been a constant part of the Cairo International Book Fair. What is the primary goal for this participation this year?
Alhamdulillah, Al-Azhar Pavilion for the 9th successive year is participating at this cultural festival, the Cairo Book Fair. And this year, each year, the pavilion has like a main theme of the whole activities held inside the pavilion, and a very special tradition became known, that we consider one of the figures of Al-Azhar as the figure of this year. For this year, they are shedding light on the character of Dr. Abdullah Diraz, one of the main Azhari figures, which represented Al-Azhar in many world events and conferences. And we are trying to make the younger generations aware of the effort is exerted by all Azhari scholars, mainly the character of this year. Besides this, we have like exhibition at the pavilion. There is different sections of all the sectors of Al-Azhar, like the university, Majma al-Buhus or the Al-Azhar Research Academy, the observatory, Education Development Center for Al-Azhar International Students, an institute of the sector of Institute قطاع المعاهد الأزهرية. All bodies of Al-Azhar are represented inside this pavilion for the sake of engaging with the public. We are trying to come to the people. This is an integrated part of played by Al-Azhar also. Not sitting in our offices and our campuses and stay that people come to us. We go for the public, to engage in these public events.
Okay, let me ask you, how do the various sections like the Fatwa Corner and the Calligraphy Corner contribute to your mission of promoting the Islamic thought?
Yeah, as Al-Azhar officially, according to the Egyptian constitution, is the body inside Egypt responsible for reviving the heritage and preserving the Arabic language. So these different corners like Fatwa is engaging with people to give them the moderate Azhari opinion about the different issues they are facing nowadays. And also like the Arabic calligraphy, which is a very beautiful type of art that may not be very well known by younger generation or even children. That's why we encourage our audience to visit all parts of the pavilion.
Okay. As we know that the Azhar use the pavilion to engage the younger generations. What are the plans that you make every year different than the year before? As we know that you've contributed here for the past 9 years. What are different this year to engage more the generations, especially the young one? What is the most tactic or plan to engage such generations to be interacted to such a pavilion here in the Cairo International Book Fair?
As nowadays in Egypt we are at the mid-year vacation of the schools, and all students are available to go out to spend a very nice day outside. That's why they are coming to the book fair. So we are trying to have like workshops especially prepared for different ages, for artistic works, for example, and handmade crafts and things that the children may be missing at their schools. We know that the main purpose of coming to the book fair is to read and buy books, but we trying to add these interesting activities to attract children to both of them, to know what are the different publications of Al-Azhar and the cultural events, and also to spend an enjoyable time that encourages them, remains in their memory, to come next year when they are adult enough to buy books.
Yes, as we know, the Azhar Library holds one of the most precious collections of the Sahah. How do you choose the one that you're gonna put it on the International Cairo Book Fair? You have a lot of copies.
Actually, the Al-Azhar Library is one of the most huge.
It's very precious, and you have a lot
containing
of
what
copies,
we known as manuscripts or very precious books for very great scholars, very ancient books, and very modern, very important books.
Yes. Which pieces you choose to showcase in the International Book Fair?
It is impossible to bring everything. So we pick and choose from each field of knowledge, like one of the very interesting titles, and it is exhibited on the shelves. But still we have the list, the full list. If you are willing to visit the library to know the full list of the library. And actually we have something so special about Al-Azhar Library, not only books written by scholars, we have the academic theses. whatever the field and researcher is interested to find a resource, and this is a very hard mission for researchers, as you know, but we easily guide them how to reach these resources. And the new step is to reach these resources online. You have online access to the titles, but if you are interested to take an exact thesis of these, you have to go to the library to have access to it.
Okay, looking ahead, how does the Azhar plan to further promote the Islamic heritage and its vast library collection? What are the plans or sources that you're gonna think about it?
We keep the initial rule by authentication and tahqiq in Arabic, studying these books and reprinting them in a very modern editions, easy accessible to the younger generation. And the next step that we are trying to keep an e-copy of all these manuscripts, to keep the original manuscripts of the paper intact, not each hand touching the paper itself. So we are, alhamdulillah, we managed to add an e-copy of 100% of all the manuscripts at Al-Azhar, and we are on our way to complete the process of preserving the rest.
There is a very big question. Are there any upcoming initiatives to digitize these sahah to be more accessible for the public, in your opinion?
Yeah.
In your coming plans?
Because Al-Azhar is aware of what's happening nowadays among younger generation, and the social media and the e-access to everything is more preferable for them and much easier for them. Maybe they are not of the type to go to a library, to sit on a chair and open a book. We are doing our...
It will be more easy and more accessible for the public.
It matches how all the young generation think. That's why Al-Azhar is playing also this role of having a complete Azhar.
Digitizing for the sahah.
Sihah and main,
for the manuscripts and
and everything at Al-Azhar library and different sectors of Al-Azhar, and even the curriculum. The Azhari curricula for all levels is nowadays available in the form of PDF. If you are not inside Egypt and interested to know about the Azhari curriculum, it is easily downloadable also.
Okay. Dr. Asmaa, can you tell me about that this pavilion has been centered here in the Cairo International Book Fair for 1,000 square kilometers. This is the space for it for the last year, or this is bigger this year?
Actually, it is the same space, but the organization each year is totally different. This year, especially, if you visit the pavilion, you'll find the Azhar corner.
There are a lot of corners.
Not different corners. You find the same structure of Al Azhar Mosque. And this is something totally new.
This and also something different and new.
It is resembling if you are you are visiting Al Azhar Mosque. And also there are the screens. On these screens, the main films about Al Azhar are actually displayed, also to attract. There are people who would like to read, but some of the visitors may not like to read, just to look at a screen. So we are trying to match all tastes of visitors to come Al Azhar.
Asmaa Zaini, researcher at Al Azhar, thank you so much for sharing with us these insightful sites about the Azhar Pavilion at the Cairo International Book Fair. So stay tuned with more segments on Nile Cruise. Thank you.